I want to show you an image. It's a series of headlines. It says VP Harris's economic vision, lower costs and higher values. That came from AP News. USA Today, Tim Walt's military service, 24 years in the National Guard. That came from USA Today. Who is Kamala Harris? Vice President Kamala Harris, CNN.com. Inflation is down, Reuters.com. Only issue is, those are fake. Those are not real headlines. The campaign for Kamala Harris created those headlines. They faked them. And media organizations are defending that. Here's CNN sitting down to defend this technique that the Kamala Harris campaign has championed.
During the break, in terms of, is this something that's normal? Is this something that campaigns have been using? How do you defend kind of the...
Yeah. Well, this is part of paid advertising. I mean, if you are somebody who's reading a news outlet on your phone, you'll see embedded ads come up sometimes in those stories that, on first glance, look like a story by the outlet you're reading. But if you don't, if you look at it more closely, it says sponsored content. I mean, this is something that the search engines do. It's part of the way they generate ad revenue. So there's nothing about it that is, violates their terms or is in any way unethical. I mean, this is part of the way that paid advertising works. And, you'll see it. It's certainly not just political campaigns who do it. I mean, just as I am reading things online, sometimes I'll I'll sort of double look at something because it feels like it's an authentic piece of content. And then you see it's paid. So it is incumbent on the viewer, the reader, the consumer to have a discerning eye, not just on political content, but on other.
I get it. When the people who run Kamala Harris and populate her teleprompter with things to say and tell her to laugh in a joyous way, when they go out and create actual fake news headlines, hey, you know what? Buyer beware, baby. It's on you. These are the same organizations that have called for speech codes and for more disinformation policing. It's amusing. It's amusing that they think it's not obvious. This is the actual view of people who get to be guests at CNN to defend this. If the Trump campaign had decided to do this, you know exactly how this would be seen on CNN. It would be seen in the reverse. This is the guy who created the phrase fake news, creating fake news. They defend it, and they do it in this way, that it's up to us. Okay, if it's up to us, maybe we could turn to CNN for some help with this, since this appeared on CNN. Maybe we could go through a couple of examples of CNN really helping us to understand the intricacies of news, making it clear, such as a time when Jake Tapper decided to respond to Donald Trump with all caps on Twitter. I'll share that with you in a second. I am looking at my watch. It is right now 9:11 in the morning as we're recording this, that's Pacific Coast time, and I am expecting to get a note from Matt and Wade at Bioptimizer saying, okay, stop. They cannot continue to give away Magnesium Breakthrough for free. It can't happen. Magnesium Breakthrough is what I use to control stress. It helps with regularity, and it is especially good at helping people sleep because it controls stress. Magnesium is responsible for regulating or driving 600 body interactions, and 80% of Americans are short on magnesium. Now, you could say, look, I eat really well. I'm as regimented in my diet as you are, Todd. Okay, I take Magnesium Breakthrough. Want to know why? Because the way our food system has been changed, most of us don't get the magnesium we should get from our vegetables, which, used to supply it. You can replace that magnesium and have the experience that I have, which is a couple hours before bed, I take 2 Magnesium Breakthrough pills, and I suddenly start to feel warm and relaxed. It's remarkable. As long as I've taken it, I still sometimes am surprised at how quickly it works. I go to sleep better, I stay asleep longer, and if I do wake up, I go back to sleep more successfully. The only way to get the free bottle of Magnesium Breakthrough is not at Google, not at Amazon, not even the Bioptimizer's website. There's only one website. It's megbreakthrough.com/Todd-free. That's megbreakthrough.com/Todd-free. So CNN says it's perfectly okay, or a guest on CNN from Axios, she's a writer at Axios, she says it's okay for people in campaigns to create fake news headlines, fake articles, post them, and encourage people to click on them. And then it's buyer beware. It's up to the consumer. Okay, what about when Jake Tapper took to Twitter and went with all caps at President Trump? Here's what President Trump wrote on Twitter. I hear that fake news CNN just reported that I'm isolated in the White House, wondering out loud, when will life return to normal? Does anybody really believe that? There was no leak. They made it up. They are corrupt fake news. Jake Tapper replies, the public needs tests. The sick need ventilators. Healthcare workers need PPE. That was on March 25th, 2020. Let's behold again what Jake Tapper said in all caps. The public needs tests. Okay, Jake Tapper, the PCR tests were frauds. They encouraged false positives. Even the New York Times reported that. Even the New York Times admitted it. In fact, they were the first to admit it, to talk about the rate of false positives in a massive article. The sick need ventilators. Factually this, Jake, ventilators probably killed more people than they saved. And again, factually, Jake, people were put on ventilators when they didn't need them at all. I can name for you 2 cases where people were put on ventilators against their will and against their families' expressed orders when their oxygen levels were between 96 and 98%. They didn't need ventilators. Hospital workers need PPE. It has long been established that no, Jake, even the big important masks, they didn't stop the virus. They can't. They're physically incapable of that. But buyer beware. Buyer beware. CNN takes a different take altogether when it involves Donald Trump. This is Jake Tapper throwing a fit about Donald Trump being welcomed by supporters, and listen to Jake Tapper's analysis of this court case.
Serious national security laws and then obstructing and refusing to cooperate with the FBI.
Yeah, whatever this spectacle is that's unfolding before us, let's remember what this case is about. Let's remember what this indictment charges. Again, Donald Trump is charged with a series of federal felonies for mishandling the most sensitive government documents that we have, and for obstruction of justice, along with Walt Nauta, who is charged with intentionally setting up lies to the grand jury, to the FBI. Any way you look at this, and again, despite whatever may be going on in that restaurant, this case isn't going to be settled legally in a cafe. It's going to be settled in the court based on the facts and law.
The folks in the control room, I don't need to see any more of that. He's trying to turn this in. He's trying to turn it into a spectacle, into a campaign ad. That's enough of that. We've seen it already. Let's go over again the 37 charges that Donald Trump is facing right now. We don't have to go into each one.
Sure.
But Ellie, if you could basically detail what are the allegations here? We have counts 1 to 30.
President Trump was trying to turn it into a campaign ad. Wait. I thought that was okay. CNN took their cameras to the event. President Trump's supporters saying happy birthday to him. That's a campaign ad. And Jake Tapper doesn't want to see any more. The Kamala Harris campaign takes fake headlines, promotes them through the Google search engine, through the Google ad buying service. And that's okay. That's not fake news. And apparently Jake Tapper's okay with that. Is he going to make a statement on this? CNN is the cornerstone of what it means to be in a dying industry. That is the industry of news filtering and fake news promoting. They can't see it, and they can't see what they're doing to themselves. But other people can certainly see it. All of us who just watched this can.